ja, soweit ich weiß, das ist Molly.
What's up, guys? It's your boy, the man, the myth, the legend, Pickdroppers. Back at it again with a Fortnite Battle Royale review video. Now, in this video, I'm going to be going over why Blitz is the best game mode in Fortnite. Now, my first reason for this is that you already know where the circle is, so you're not running the whole game trying to chase the circle. Now, the first thing you'll notice once you get into Blitz is that you're in the storm to start out the game on the opening island, and you already know where the circle's going to be. And I understand why in regular Fortnite they do not have this. It's because the outside of the map would not be used much, and everybody would just be centered in the first circle. But I think that's very good for Blitz, and I know personally I hate having to chase the circle the whole game, and I love that I already know where the circle is, so I can already plan what I'm going to do from there instead of having to just run from the circle trying to avoid fights the whole game because the circle is at Junk Junction and I end up going to Moisty Mire that game. And I know that's a big reason why Blitz mode is better than regular Fortnite. Now, the second reason that I have for this is that the circle size does not rapidly change, so it's very unlikely to die to the circle. Now, the two most annoying things in Fortnite is when you die to the circle or when you die for some BS reason. And I feel like dying to the circle is so frustrating because there's not much you can really improve on except for moving, I guess, faster or hoping that you have better meds, which is really RNG. And so when you take out some of the RNG, I feel like it just makes Fortnite even better. And I hate having to just run from the circle. And since the circle just gets gradually smaller and smaller, it doesn't rapidly shrink. I feel like that is very good for people that like constant action. They're not having to worry about the circle, because if they forget about the circle for a second, they already know the circle's pretty close, and so they can just run to it. And I feel like that's just a very big improvement, and I think they should add that to normal Fortnite. I feel like the circle should start really big and then just gradually get smaller. Even though what I do not like about that is the damage is still pretty close to the same. I feel like the damage shouldn't be as much because no one likes dying to the circle, and I feel like it's definitely good that the circle doesn't just get really, really small. But I feel like the damage should be decreased a little bit so that people should still want to be in the circle, because they don't want people just hiding in the outside of the maps inside of the storm. But I feel like it should not be as it should not do as much damage as it already does. Now, the third reason why I think that Blitz is better than regular Fortnite is that it is much easier to get material, and so you don't need to be hitting trees the whole game. And I feel that that's a big thing about Fortnite. What differentiates Fortnite from other Battle Royale games is that in Fortnite you have material that you can farm, and so you can put up walls and stuff to defend yourself. And I feel like in regular Fortnite, you're spending a good amount of the match, 60-70% of the game, just farming materials. And I feel like that is just not a good thing. I feel like they should make sure the material gets higher in regular Fortnite, because I love how in Blitz I can get material so fast and I don't have to spend the whole game trying to get material. And I feel like having that material and having more material increased build fights, and you know, everybody likes build fights. They're just so interesting to be in, and they're so interesting to watch. So I feel like giving people more material is a very good thing. And if you guys did not know, this last patch, this is a little bit off topic, but this last patch decreased the material you can get from the floor loot. You now get less material from floor loot. You get like 33% less, and the llama gives out way less material, which I think is just a horrible idea. It doesn't make any sense. They're giving us less and less material to work with, and it's supposed to be a game where you're supposed to be building and supposed to be using your material to try and outplay someone. And I feel like decreasing the material just decreases the quality of the game and decreases the quality of the fight. And so I think making it easier to get material is a very good idea, and that's why everybody likes Blitz. It's easy to get material. You'll hear streamers commenting about when they play regular Fortnite that they wish they had the material that they had in Blitz. because especially for like watching people play, it's not fun watching someone hit trees 90% of the game. You want somebody to be going around fighting and easily getting materials, and I feel like the lack of materials in regular Fortnite is what separates Blitz in regular Fortnite. I feel like Blitz does a very good job. They like double your material when hitting like trees and bricks and stuff like that. And I feel like that's just a very good thing, and I feel like they should implement that into regular Fortnite. Now, the fourth reason why I think Blitz is better than regular Fortnite is that there is more launch pads, and that increases mobility and fights. Another thing I mentioned, or what I mentioned before, is that it sucks getting stuck in the storm, and an easy way to get out of the storm is to launch pad away. And this is also, launch pads are also very good if you get into a sticky situation in a fight. You can reset the fight by using a launch pad, and I just feel like everybody loves using launch pads, and I feel like the increase in launch pad is just a great idea, because it does also increase fights. When people are far away from each other, it brings them closer together, because you can just launch pad to the other person, and then you can fight from there. And I feel like that is just a very good add to Fortnite, and I feel like that was a very good add to Blitz mode, increasing the launch pads. And people are just launch padding over to each other. You get to see high-paced games, and that's what everybody likes about Fortnite, how high-paced it is. And I feel like adding launch pads just increased that intensity in each game and just made Fortnite Blitz a really good game mode. Now, my fifth reason is that since everybody lands in the first circle, there are more fights, and so it's harder to just hide in the outside of the map. In Blitz, as you guys know, you already find out what the circle is. So people are gonna go into the circle because they don't want to die to the storm, and so people aren't able to hide on the outside of the map. You know, the bad players aren't able to last to the end of the game because they're just hiding on the outside of the map. Everybody has to go to the same area, and that just increases fights, and you get a lot of fights, you get a lot of action. It's lots of fun. And so people can't just camp on the outside of the circle because, one, they won't be able to get, like, any loot, and other people are going to that same place on the outside of the circle. And so I feel like because of the circle already being set, people aren't able to just hide on the outside of the map and hide, you know, near the edge of Moisty or Junk Junction or places like that. Everybody is, like, having to come together, and there's a lot of fights at the start of the game and throughout the middle and throughout the end. I feel like fights are just so often, and that leads me into my sixth point, which is the circle moves so much and so often. People have to constantly move, which makes fights happen throughout the entirety of the game, and was a big problem with that's a problem that people have with Tilted, is once Tilted was added, fights used to happen at the start of the game and then at the end of the game. There's no middle fights, and people did not like that, and so I feel like that's a very good part of Blitz, and I feel like having the fights throughout the whole entire game just makes for a lot more action and a lot more fun, and I feel like that's a big reason why Blitz is so much better than the regular game mode in Fortnite. So I want to hear your opinions on Blitz in the comments down below. I know a lot of people love Blitz, and I want to know if you guys like the regular game mode or if you like Blitz more. I think Blitz gets the edge for me, but that's just me personally. I feel like they can definitely integrate some ideas of Blitz into regular Fortnite. But let me know in the comments down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and write a comment down below on what you'd like to see next. It's your boy Pickdroppers, and I'm out. Peace!